Oh my gosh. Okay, so anyways, next thing. So yeah, so let me break this down piece by piece. This will be my practice in communicating situations that are difficult. So what ends up happening, I'm gonna start from yesterday and I'll go on and move forward through um, I'll go on and move forward through backwards through the other days, and then I'll tell what else happened today. So this morning so far, oh my gosh! So just following up on yesterday because I need to go deal with this right now. Um, Little bit of latent bullying harassment at work, but it's okay. I say to myself, and that kind of sometimes promotes it even more because people are like, yeah, But it's the verifications people, and then there's the and it's just the two girls. One is like country trailer park trash. The other one is just like look like she's been walking on the streets forever. And I'm just being honest because I'm so done. But this is, and sometimes you just gotta let it out the way it is. So, but oh my goodness. So this is what happens. Yesterday, I focused on my work, stay mind my business. But anyhow, I had a double deal that went through. That I had confirmed everything. This was a follow up from the previous day. Never had a problem contacting these people. Followed up with them. She had a concern from information. Got it confirmed. Just the verification people ruin credibility altogether, and they are not very unprofessional. So what ends up happening? I went and I called and I got everything confirmed. Then when I got it confirmed, um, when I got it confirmed, what ends up happening is that well, I put it through the verifications. Verifications gets online, and then I go to see what's going on. I don't know what prompted me to see what was going on. I don't know, remember what happened, but the girl, I guess she had gotten off of the line with the customers. It was real fast. I don't know how long she was on there with them, and she was like, "Oh, um, I don't remember everything, but this is what the meat of it was." She was just like, "What's with you?" She didn't tell me what needed. She was like, "Oh, you got double information in here, and the same information for this person, and the same information for that," and I was just like, no, no, it's not. It's two completely different people. And she was like, well, and he's not covered, and whose insurance is he under? And I said, I put it in there. I put the name of the person slash the name of the person that has the car. And I've even went so far as to put their relationship in there. So there should not have been any question or confusion. She was like the same, and she was saying something about the same information for both. No, it wasn't. It was completely different. Specifically, one said mother, one said mother-in-law. Completely different. And then it went from there, and I was like trying to hurry up and fix the deal. So I was like, don't worry about it. I have it somewhere else. I'll just put it all back in there for you. So I went to go put it back in. Then she says to me, well, I had to let him go because he's not covered. He said he's not covered under, you got to, she was like, and she didn't say what she says, you got to make sure that this person is covered under this person's insurance. I was like, he is covered under their insurance. She probably didn't ask. She probably saw mother-in-law and she assumed that it wasn't and discarded him. Okay, I don't know what the situation is. I don't know if that's true or not, but all I know is she told me, as if I didn't ask, that hey, this person she was like, oh, the whose insurance is he under? He's not covered. And I said, well, I asked him, and he said that he was, And she says, and then she says he's not covered, and she was saying like she didn't even hear. Well, he said that he's not, and I was like, well, sometimes she was like, he's not. She didn't say he said. She just said he's not covered under the insurance. And I was just like, and she has no way of doing that until she processes it through. And I was told that really, like I said, it takes time for that to happen. That didn't happen at that time of night. It didn't happen. So then I talked to her, and if it does, that's fine. It gets processed through, and then it comes back as inactive. But oh my Lord. So then what ends up happening is I was like, well, just to kind of, okay, fine. She's saying that, that he's not. But I said, well, if, it's a totally different thing. When I spoke to him, he said that it was. And I spoke to both of them. I asked specifically. And she was like, oh, well, I have the recording. Well, you didn't listen to the recording because if you heard the recording, you would have heard that that wasn't so. You know what I'm saying? That he said it was. But in any ways, sometimes things do change when it goes to verification. Not a problem. And then she knew I was going to ask about the other girl. She was like, oh, and her, well, now I have to call her back at such and such a time. You know what I'm saying? Terrible credibility. Because then what happens is that, I'm offended because it makes it look like I didn't put in the right information as detailed as I was about it. That I didn't put in the right information, that it was double information, and that the persons weren't even confirmed with the insurance. Made me look bad all the way around. And then it was like they're experiencing talking over you so you don't get a word in so nobody will hear what you had to say. So at that point, I talked to the person that was in the room when that happened that's a little bit higher than them, and I tried to pull them aside to talk to them. Pulled aside, but the office that we went to was right by where the girl was, so I didn't want to talk about the inside of the problem. So he took me into the owner's office, which is the only other office that's available, but the owner is in there. And really, I did not want to bring, and he's one of the owners too, but I didn't want to bring him into it because from past experience, he's racist, and I didn't show y'all. He did the man tan hands, like whatever, and I was like, wow, are you serious? And so I wouldn't go to him unless it's the last resort, and if I do anything towards him, it's going to be in writing, because whatever. Now, so we get in there, and I start to tell, and then before I can even start, he's like, well, if there's a problem, I haven't had a problem before. If there's a problem, basically, he's insinuated that it would be me. I'm not saying there's a problem. I'm trying to let you know about this situation that occurred, but I haven't even gotten the word out yet. And so at that point, before I can say anything, he was like, well, that's their job to see if there's something. I was like, that's not the problem at all. The information was there. She was saying that it wasn't. I even replaced the information back in there for her. And then she lets me know that she's blown the verification. I didn't say that. But then after I attempted to do, I couldn't get a word in edgewise pretty much. But, and then because he kept interrupting me saying, well, she's been here for 2.5 years. It doesn't matter how long she's been there. That's none of my business how long she's been there. And, you say you never had a problem. Well, maybe it just wasn't brought to your attention because bringing it to your attention would cause a problem. So, yeah, so I was pretty much done with that. Now, moving on. the next thing about that was, so as we're sitting there, I can't get a word in edgewise. My thing, I just wanted to let them know, hey, perhaps she needs to be, I was wondering if you could just educate her. You listen to the recording first. You don't say that somebody said that, because that tarnishes my reputation. You know what I'm saying? And then for you to say it as if it's fact. And I know that it's not. I take the time to make sure that I ask all the questions that I need to ask. And I don't even like to post anything that I would even assume would go yellow. I make sure that I have everything on my end, because I don't want to I wouldn't put my deal in somebody else's hands. I make sure that I have everything on my end. Now, you guys, oh my gosh. So, yeah, and as a matter of fact, they took it upon themselves to repost something that was yellow. That's not going to close, and I know it's not, because that person, the way that they responded, if they didn't say one for verification first time, they're not the second. He probably knows he doesn't have good insurance, and that's why he, bailed. And that's okay, That's why he bailed, because he knew that he didn't have good insurance. And he's not going to close, because he didn't, and he knows it. They're never going to be able to reach him. Now, with this girl and this guy, I went through all the process of making sure. She even went to make sure and talk to her parents to make sure that it was okay. And now, at this point, the credibility has been ruined. The credibility has been ruined because this woman supposed to call her back, didn't call her back. I was able to get in contact every single time. Then the time comes for her to call back, and I go to, see, just to kind of remind her in a nice way, like, hey, what happened with such and such a person, pretending that I didn't know that she had to call him back. And she was like, oh, I called him back plenty of times, nobody answered. They did answer. when they did answer, you know what I'm saying? But when they would have answered if she called, but she didn't. And I know because I've never had a problem contacting them. And then the time that I went to her, that was the time that she was supposed to call. I was trying to be kind of background, helpful about it and just be like, hey, just as a reminder, but without saying that I was reminding you, but just saying, hey, whatever happened, such and such. No, you're supposed to be calling them right now while I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just messed it up all the way around the board. And then I had another double that went through at the end of the night, and she tried to she was not trying to have it closed, which, said a lot of negative things. And then when I was on the phone earlier, the room was absolutely quiet. Nobody else had called coming in. I was trying to do something. The church lady, I was talking to some lady I couldn't hear because she was so loud. She's on the other side. She was so loud, laughing and joking and whatever, and intentionally distorting my call, making a lot of noise, and then it blew the call. I had to hang that call up, So, wow. Wow. So I definitely want to address those things. The way the time is working now, I thought that I would be out earlier. But again, speaking of which, this is why I'm not out earlier. What ended up happening was this morning I got up early and the song that came on, the song for the day, you guys, is Get Up by Mary Mary. I came out early, and when I came out early, there was some guy that was standing there, and I was going to the bathroom, and I was thinking, I saw the light on, and I was like, okay, are you going to I've never seen him before, but are you going to the bathroom? No. Oh, okay, is somebody in the bathroom? No. I'm like, okay, so I'll go to the bathroom. So I go, and it stinks in there, whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. Everything ain't roses all the time. So I come back out, and I go to my room, and he's like right there watching me. So I go in my room, I close the door behind me and lock it. Okay, close the door behind me and lock it. Next thing you know, he starts coming behind me, pushing the door, trying to open the door. And I'm just like, what are you doing? I said, hey, don't do that. Hey, don't do that. This is my room. Don't do that. He's still pushing the door, trying to open it. I'm like, don't do that. This is my room. And so then finally, I'm waiting for him to back up a little bit, and I'm like, are you okay? Is everything all right? So then I come out. So this dude is up to no good. I don't know. But so I come out, and I'm just like, is everything all right? And I'm just watching him because I'm trying to see, what is his problem? Like, what's going on? And I'm not trying to show that in my face. I'm just trying to gauge the situation, just completely blank face. And he was just like, oh, I'm okay. And I was just like, because he's just standing around. The guy, okay, so he's just standing around, in the kitchen, just standing there by my door. And so I'm like, and when I first came out to go to the bathroom, I didn't tell you, when I first came out to go to the bathroom, he's standing, when I first came out to go to the bathroom, he's standing right there, like just looking. He's not doing anything. He's just looking into my room, and I'm like, all right, fine. Maybe just shocked him. He didn't know somebody lived there, and that's what shocked him. You know what I mean? So, man, you guys. So then, like I said, I'm out there, are you all right? Whatever. But he's just pacing. He's pretending to put the beer in the guy. And then it seems like he's acting like he's slow, and then, after a while he starts to try to break character. So I leave the house okay. So I'm like, all right, fine. So I go back into my room, slowly, but I'm waiting, I watch him, and then he goes over to the other side and asks the man for a cigarette, he's like, no, you don't have it, and so I'm saying to him, like, like, are you okay? Do you need something? Whatever. And he's like, no, he's talking real slow, like hardly responding, And so then, oh my gosh, you guys. Oh my goodness. So then what ends up happening is that, finally, so I start to go in my room, but then I hear the guy from the other side come over and